Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn joins me now. Senator, I can't imagine there are too many times in your life where you've had to follow Hulk Hogan in an interview. Am I right about that?
I think you're right about that, but Hulk Hogan and all the other guests you have had, John, and millions of Americans are watching what is happening at Madison Square Garden. They know it is just such a famous arena. You've had Democrat and Republican conventions there. You've had a lot of celebrities there, and they are waiting to see President Trump come to the stage and send that message. Kamala broke it. He is going to fix it. And the American people are tired of being broke. They're tired of an open border, and they are ready to get some positive action going in this country and get back on the right track.
If you look at a lot of the polling that's out there, national polling, et cetera, this race is essentially a tie, according to the polls. Do you see it that way?
I think President Trump is pulling ahead. We know that he always gets a larger vote than what he polls. And I can tell you, being out with some of my Senate colleagues and being across this great state of Tennessee, there is a lot of enthusiasm for President Donald Trump. People know they cannot afford 4 more years of Kamala Harris, and they know she doesn't have a plan for anything, whether it is putting more money in their pocket with better jobs and higher wages, or fixing the border and dealing with illegal immigration and gangs and crime. And they also know she can't seem to make up her mind about protecting girls in girls' sports, because she seems to be for letting men in women's sports. And those are all things that are of concern to the American people.
There have been a number of charges hurled at former President Trump from the Harris campaign. At first, he was described as weird, along with his running mate. Lately, the charge seems to be that he is a fascist. How would you answer that?
I tell everyone to look at the job that he did in 4 years of his administration and see where his actions were placed. They were there for the American people. And you had people from every corner of the country, every economic group, that were saying they were better off. And you know something, John? They try to go find some kind of message that is going to stick. And it hasn't stuck. Whether it is weird, whether it is calling him a fascist, whether it is saying that it is a joyful campaign, nothing is working for them, because Kamala Harris cannot tell you what she has done for the past 4 years and what she will do in the next 4 years. But people know that they are worse off after 4 years of Biden-Harris, and they know that they were better off under 4 years of President Donald Trump, and it's why he's going to win.
Speaking of ties, you've got a tie in the Senate, but Vice President Harris has been the deciding vote on a number of issues. Republicans feel pretty optimistic that they can take back the Senate this year. What's your assessment?
I think you're going to see us with a majority in the Senate. I feel very good about that. And regardless of where I am, and you look at these races, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, even New Mexico, you look at where people are showing up to vote and the polling in these races, I feel really good about a Senate majority. And President Donald Trump needs a good, solid Senate majority. He needs to have the Senate that is going to work with him on judicial appointments, on cabinet appointments, and making certain that we put that focus on reducing the size and the cost of federal government to the taxpayer. Our government is overspent. taxpayers are overtaxed, and they're saying, let's get this country on the right track. They know that Donald Trump will do that.
Shrinking the government is something that people talk about, but it rarely seems to happen. You think that's actually possible under a President Trump?
I think with over $35 trillion in debt, John, what people are saying is it is time to right-size the federal government. And part of this was driven by the fact that during COVID, so many people decided that they were going to work remote, and they've never come back to the office. So you have vast backlogs. Right now, the VA has a 1 million case backlog. People want to see that cleared up. When people are trying to get IRS returns, they're finding that it is taking them months and months to hear from the IRS. And people are saying, hey, wait a minute, we are needing help with these federal agencies. So it's time to skinny it up. It is time to get it out of Washington, D.C. It is time to work on government reform, freeze federal spending, federal hiring, federal salaries, and begin to reduce the size of the federal government. I look forward to what President Trump, and I know Vivek Ramaswamy has talked about this, Elon Musk has talked about it. It's time for that action.
We've already heard from Vivek Ramaswamy. We will be hearing from Elon Musk a little bit later on in the Trump rally. In the meantime, Senator Marsha Blackburn, it's good of you to spend some time with us tonight. Thanks very much.
Good to be with you.
You too. So